Good Friday morning, and thank you for joining us on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Jason Hackett. Let's get to your Friday headlines. Tensions are high at the state capitol as DFL lawmakers continue a sit-in at this hour, demanding a vote on gun control. Things started boiling over late yesterday when a motion to force a vote failed, and Republican Speaker Lisa Dameth adjourned the session until tomorrow. Take a look.
The motion prevails, and the House stands adjourned until 12 noon Saturday, May 16, 2026.
Quite the scene there. Megan McPherson's at the Capitol with the very latest.
Good morning. Yeah, we have been here outside of the House chambers throughout the morning. You can see behind me, they are locked. We're not allowed in. We're not allowed up in the viewing area, but there are lawmakers in there right now. DFL House lawmakers have signaled that they will stay in there for as long as it takes to be able to force a vote on this gun violence prevention bill, which would ban assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines. But Republicans signaled Thursday that they do not believe that this legislation can or should move forward, signaling a very fierce debate inside the House chambers here.
This bill is not ready, no matter how urgent the problem is.
You will see members sitting in and saying, it is time for an up or down vote, because what people cannot do is hide from this vote.
So how did we get here? Well, last night a motion to take up a vote on this bill failed following hours of debate. The House was scheduled to resume business at 11 this morning, but Republican Speaker Lisa Dameth adjourned the House until noon tomorrow. That decision is what sparked these hold the vote chants that you heard before. And also Dameth maintains that she only said this legislation would move through the normal committee process, but the bills stalled after failing to advance out of committee on party line votes. For now, it is still unclear what exactly it would take for both sides to be able to come together and reach an agreement on this. It's something that we will continue to follow throughout the day and try to get answers on. Back to you.
Megan, thank you. New video from the state capitol in the last few hours. Right now, peace officers from across Minnesota are standing in silent vigil for the annual Peace Officer Memorial Day. This day is in honor of all 314 Minnesota officers who have died in the line of duty. The vigil started at the Capitol at 6 last night and will continue until 7 tonight. It will be immediately followed by a service featuring a parade with honor guards from across the state. President Trump is on Air Force One on his way back home from China after beginning today with another round of talks with President Xi Jinping. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the two countries found common ground on the war in Iran, but that President Trump did not ask China for help in ending the conflict. NBC's Alice Barr has the very latest from Washington.
Hi there. President Trump previewed some potential trade deals, though there's nothing formal yet, and he warmed his tone substantially toward President Xi. But the Chinese leader's warning on Taiwan signals challenges remain.
President Trump given a ceremonial send-off from China this morning to cap a summit mixing pageantry and thorny politics.
We've made some fantastic trade deals, great for both countries. He's a man I respect greatly, become really a friend.
The president praising Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and while there's no sign of a breakthrough on a comprehensive trade deal, he suggested Boeing would sell China 200 jets.
It was sort of like a statement, but I think it was a commitment.
And teased potential business with other American CEOs who joined the trip.
One thing I think that we're going to make a deal on, they've agreed they want to buy oil from the United States.
The president acknowledged China wants to keep buying oil from Iran, propping up their economy, but said Beijing won't give Tehran military equipment and offered help with a deal.
He feels strongly they can't have a nuclear weapon. He said that very strongly. They cannot have a nuclear weapon, and he wants them to open up the strait.
China is Tehran's most powerful ally, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio told NBC's Tom Yamas the president didn't ask for help ending the war.
We're not asking for China's help. We don't need their help.
Secretary Rubio also weighing in on Taiwan, the island's self-governing democracy that China's communist government claims as its own, and that the U.S. sells weapons to deter Chinese aggression.
U.S. policy on the issue of Taiwan is unchanged as of today.
That as a Chinese spokesperson warned if the issue is mishandled, the countries could collide or even conflict, pushing the relationship into dangerous territory. A stark reminder of the remaining challenges in a critical and complicated relationship.
From here, the U.S. trade representative said the U.S. and China would set up a board of trade to work toward reducing some tariffs. And President Trump invited President Xi to visit Washington in September. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Developing this morning, Minneapolis could soon put a pause on new data centers. Some residents say they're worried about the environmental impacts and higher costs for water and energy. Meanwhile, Councilmember Elizabeth Schaefer is planning on introducing changes to the city's zoning code to regulate planning and building new centers. She says these facilities are important to attract cutting-edge businesses. City Council is expected to vote on the pause at its meeting next Thursday. Well, this morning, we're learning the historic St. Paul Hotel has a new owner, a group led by Minnesota Wild owner Craig Leopold. Right now, the group is planning some major renovations, including updating hotel rooms, the lobby, and the fitness center. In a statement, Leopold says he's excited to invest in St. Paul's future and one of the city's most famous landmarks. Renovations are scheduled to begin at the end of the year. Well, the Wolves are back home tonight on the brink of elimination from the Western Conference semifinals. The exciting Game 6 showdown against the Spurs tipping off in just hours at Target Center. Audrey Russo's in Minneapolis with what fans can expect tonight.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, I was not able to get into the Target Center, but I'm somewhere a little bit more important. I'm in one of the beautiful skyways headed towards the parking ramp that are probably going to fill up fairly quickly if you don't get here early, because we know downtown Minneapolis behind me is going to be hopping and howling tonight. The doors here at Target Center open at 7:30. Game time is at 8:30. And we know it's not just going to be downtown here at the Target Center that's busy. All the different bars, the watch parties, fans will be watching. Now take a look at this. Game 6 means that the Timberwolves have come up with a new game t-shirt design for everybody that comes in. Take a look at this. I found this on their website today. Now the Timberwolves need to win tonight in order to force a Game 7. The San Antonio Spurs are trying to put a stop to it quickly because they want to keep their star players like Victor Wembanyama healthy for future games. Now obviously Game 7, if necessary, would be held in San Antonio. We don't know what time yet because of course we don't know if a Game 7 is even going to be necessary. Now, back here for Game 6, we do know that the Twins at the lovely Target Field behind me are actually doing the Timberwolves a solid. They're moving up the start time of their game today in order to get the fans out of Target Field a little bit more quickly so all the Timberwolves fans can come in, get the party started, and root for the Timberwolves. Back to you.
All right, go Wolves. Hopefully they take care of business here tonight. This morning we're getting a full look at the Vikings' upcoming schedule, and it's looking pretty tasty. Take a look.
Yeah, I'll take it all. Every dish.
Okay. Do we have any allergies?
No. Just cables and camera wires.
So kicker Will the Thrill, and for some reason, professional wrestler Chris Jericho, I was very confused by that, but it was good to see Chris, help serve up the Vikings schedule this year. So let's take a look. The purple boxes you see are your home games. Gold are away. The season starts at US Bank Stadium with a border battle against the Packers. Also, A+, 5 out of the last 7 games are at home. And right here on Kare 11, you can watch both the Sunday night matchup against Detroit in Week 15 and the international game against the 49ers in Mexico City for Week 11. And the regular season begins on September 13th. I'm aiming for Week 4 there against the Dolphins, my hometown team. That's going to be a fun one. This morning, dozens of beagles rescued from a Wisconsin research facility are waking up in Minnesota. This is video of the 49 dogs arriving at the Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley last night. They were previously at Ridgeland Farms, a biomedical research center near Madison that's been the center of protests and break-ins over abuse accusations. Those dogs will eventually be put up for adoption, but the shelter says they've been confined, so they first need to learn how to socialize. Another Twin Cities business is going out of business. After 12 years, Bauhaus Brew Labs in Northeast Minneapolis says it's closing next month. In a post on Instagram, the brewery says it's faced multiple challenges, including Operation Metro surge and supply chain cost increases. They're going to have a big party, though, to celebrate their final weekend. That's happening June 26th through the 28th. And then this weekend, they're hosting their last Liquid Zoo Festival during Art World. So make sure you go and check that out. Art World is a very good time. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.